The moment that changed everything. I was standing in the kitchen doorway, holding a tray of drinks, when I heard my husband laughing in the living room. Not the happy kind of laugh, the smug kind, the kind that makes your stomach tighten before your brain even understands why. His friends were over for poker night, and the house smelled like cheap beer and barbecue chips. The TV hummed in the background while chips clinked on the table. Then I heard him say it. "Relax, guys. She'll never leave me." The room erupted with laughter. My hands froze around the tray. Someone asked him why he was so sure. And my husband, my partner of 7 years, answered with absolute confidence. "Because she has nowhere to go." More laughter. Loud, comfortable, cruel. For a second, the world felt strangely quiet, like all the oxygen had been sucked out of the room. I stood there in the hallway, invisible, listening. My heart wasn't racing. I wasn't crying. Instead, something colder settled into my chest. He continued talking, unaware I could hear every word. "She depends on me. Always has, trust me. She's not going anywhere." That's when I stepped into the room with the drinks. Smiling, the kind of polite smile wives wear when guests are around. No one noticed the silence inside me, not even him. But in that moment, something inside my mind clicked into place with terrifying clarity. Because my husband was right about one thing. I was leaving. He just had no idea yet. And the best part? I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to threaten. I wasn't even going to warn him. I was simply going to disappear. If you've ever been underestimated, dismissed, or treated like you had no power, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around. Because this revenge story proves that sometimes the quietest response delivers the loudest consequences. 7 years. That's how long I had been married to Daniel. 7 years of slowly shrinking myself to fit into the space he allowed me to have. When we first met, he was charming, confident, the kind of man who filled a room with his voice and made everyone feel like they were part of the joke. I mistook that confidence for security. But over time, the little comments started. Small things. "You're not great with money. You'd struggle on your own. It's good you have me." At first, I laughed them off. Then they became normal. By the 3rd year of our marriage, Daniel handled everything financial. Our bank accounts, the mortgage, the bills. Technically, I worked too. I had a steady administrative job at a medical office. But somehow my paycheck always ended up in the house account, the one he controlled. If I wanted to buy something, anything, I asked. And he'd usually smirk before saying yes. Looking back, it's embarrassing how long it took me to see what was happening. But manipulation rarely arrives screaming. It arrives slowly, quietly, like fog creeping into a room, until suddenly you can't see the door anymore. The truth is, by year 7, Daniel genuinely believed what he told his friends that night. He believed I needed him, that I was stuck, that I had nowhere to go, and maybe, once upon a time, he would have been right. But the funny thing about being underestimated is that people stop paying attention to what you're actually doing. And over the past year, I had quietly been preparing. See, the job Daniel dismissed as cute little office work, it had recently turned into something much bigger. I had been promoted to office manager 6 months earlier, a promotion Daniel barely acknowledged. What he also didn't know was that I had started setting aside small amounts of money. Not much, $20 here, $50 there, tiny pieces of freedom, hidden in an account he didn't know existed. At first I told myself it was just a safety net, but after hearing what he said to his friends that night, I realized something important. This wasn't a safety net anymore. It was an exit plan. And for the next 2 weeks, I smiled. I cooked dinner. I folded laundry. I kissed him goodbye before work, while quietly dismantling the life he thought I'd never leave. He didn't notice the boxes slowly disappearing from the closet, or the paperwork I was signing during my lunch breaks, or the phone calls I made from the parking lot after work. Daniel thought he had all the power. But the thing about power is that it often vanishes the moment someone stops believing in it. And I had already stopped. 2 weeks later, the plan was ready, and Daniel was about to come home to the quietest revenge he'd ever experienced. 2 weeks after poker night, Daniel came home from work at exactly 6:18 p.m. I know the time because he was always predictable. Same routine, same parking spot, same heavy footsteps on the front porch. The only difference that evening was the silence waiting for him. No lights on, no TV humming, no smell of dinner cooking in the kitchen. When he opened the front door, the house echoed in a way it never had before. Empty houses have a very specific sound. His keys hit the counter. "Babe?" he called casually. No answer. He walked into the living room. That's when he noticed the first thing. The couch was gone. The rug, the coffee table, all the small decorations I had spent years collecting. Gone. At first, his brain probably tried to rationalize it. Maybe we were getting new furniture. Maybe something had been moved. But then he walked into the hallway. The bedroom door creaked open. Empty closet, empty dresser, no shoes by the door, no photos on the wall. Just blank space and silence. That's when the confusion turned into panic. "Hello?" He shouted louder this time. Still nothing. Then he saw it. A single white envelope sitting neatly in the center of the kitchen table. His name written on the front. He tore it open. Inside was a simple letter. No yelling, no insults, just calm words written in black ink. "You told your friends I had nowhere to go. You were wrong. While you were busy believing I depended on you, I was building a way out. My new apartment is already paid for. My new bank account is in my name only. My job promotion you never cared about, it doubled my salary. And the joint account you controlled? I closed it this morning. The lawyer will contact you about the divorce. You always said I wouldn't survive without you. Now you get to find out if you can survive without me." At that exact moment, Daniel's phone rang. It was the bank, confirming the account closure. Reality hit him all at once. The woman he thought was powerless had quietly dismantled everything. Without a fight, without drama, without even being there. For 7 years he believed I needed him, but standing alone in that empty house, he finally understood the truth. He had needed me the entire time. Sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't screaming, arguing, or trying to prove someone wrong. Sometimes it's silence, it's walking away. It's letting someone realize too late, that the person they underestimated was the one holding everything together. Daniel thought I had nowhere to go. But the truth is, people only look trapped when someone else controls the door. The moment you realize you can open it yourself, everything changes. If this story gave you that satisfying chill of justice, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more powerful revenge stories just like this one. And I want to hear from you in the comments. What do you think was the most satisfying part of this story? Was it the empty house, the closed bank account, or that final letter waiting on the table? Because sometimes karma doesn't arrive with noise. Sometimes it arrives in the form of an empty room and a realization that comes way too late. And if you enjoy stories where underestimated people take their power back, stick around, because the next story might be even more shocking.